Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Life Uncorked and a very special Happy New Year to you all. Karen, how you doing?
I am doing great. Can you believe it's the new year? How did that
No,
happen?
don't we say that every week?
I say that every week. Well,
Well,
cheers to
cheers.
the new year.
Cheers
Cheers.
to the new year. We hope that you all had a beautiful holiday and are ready for this new year, 2024. It seems like it's out of an, Orwellian novel.
I know. But it's going to be a great year, and we're going to kick it off with a bang. Because we hate resolutions, right? We just totally hate the whole
So done.
resolution thing.
Yeah, no.
So when we were talking about what were we going to do, we had this epiphany, and that was, how do we want to be remembered? Why don't we begin with the end in mind? Instead of saying what we want to do this year, why don't we talk about how we want to be remembered? So, Mel, I mean, do you, I think about this all the time. I really do.
I think I do in terms of more, not so much how I want to be remembered when I'm gone, but how I hope I'm thought of now. And I
Mm,
hope that carries through. And for me, it's that I love my family
yeah.
and that I'm always hopeful.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And hope is a really big
Hope.
word right now, right?
Yeah.
As we
I'm
continue.
positive.
Yeah.
I mean, I am, I'm I think I've shared this in previous episodes. My kids gave my husband and I hashtags, I'm proud mom, he's no filters. And my friends actually gave me one. They carried it a step further and gave me the hashtag silver linings. And
Mm.
I think it's because I write about that. And I always do choose to find the positive. And I hope that reflects in how I live my life and the legacy I live behind, that I chose the positive outlook.
Well, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
But yeah,
I, you know, I want people at the end of the day, and it does, and let me rephrase that. At the end of the day, only thing that matters is how I remember, how I think about myself. Because if I show up worrying about what everybody else is thinking about me, then it's going to change how I show up. And so, with that as a caveat, I'm hoping that somewhere after I'm long gone, that when people think about me, they think about how I showed up in service. And that really, my first question was always, how can I support you? And that is really who I feel I am at my core. And I hope that people know that and realize that and have experienced that with me. That's how I want to be remembered.
that's beautiful. And I think I can tell you that's how I think of you now. When I need something, you're there. When I ask, if you don't know the answer, you find it. You are always there to help and connect and offer yourself however you can to others. It's beautiful.
You. Thank you. And and I hope that, we have kids, but we both have kids, and I hope that I put that on them as well, and that they in turn want to go out and be of service and maybe take a lead from me. I don't know if that's easily done though, right? I mean, because they're not me, right?
They're not, but I think you see it now. We both have adult children, and we see the paths that they choose and the way that they conduct themselves. And there's no greater compliment that I get from the outside. And I don't look for other people to approve or disapprove of how I've raised my children. But when people come to me and whether they knew them growing up or now as adults, comment on what incredible young men they are, and kind and giving and gracious, it warms my heart because I know that I am leaving the world a little bit better in their hands for them to carry on.
I read an article that years and years from now, we're gonna be just like the great grandparents we don't remember, right? And
Yeah.
that because we don't talk about them as much, and so the how we are remembered are by the people that are remembering us.
Right.
And there is a when you do things without worrying about how it makes you look, and instead you do it just because you
Mhm.
want to do it, um, people remember that. And I try to remember the relatives in my family that some of them I never met, and so
Right.
I actually know them through pictures or stories. And so I hope, as I continue on, that my kids will tell stories about, well, nice stories. Hopefully they'll tell good stories about me. And in
Some
turn,
funny ones.
right. I mean, and obviously, I mean, I know in your family, with your kids having been with you in and the re-empty nest, now that you're now in an empty nest again, but they were with you and they were you were creating all of these memories with them. And so if you were to ask them how they remember their Nana, right?
Yeah, I think that I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think whether you can be there, be with your family physically or via Zoom now, we're
Right.
fortunate to have the electronic communications that we didn't. FaceTime, we can be connected in such a more personal way than in the
Right.
past. Our abilities to remember that, however you are present with them is what matters the most.
There's a poem that I used to do when I did a lot of funerals. I officiated at funerals, and there was a poem that was called "We Will Remember." That's literally a poem. We will remember in the rustling of the leaves. We will remember in the flowing stream. We will remember, and all those things will bring those memories back. Do you feel that there are things that will tweak a memory about somebody in your
Oh,
family?
I do. And I feel that even to this day, as I'm cooking and I make my grandmother's spaghetti sauce, which it takes me back to my teen years trying to get her to write down the recipe, which, as anyone out there who cooks, but especially little Italian grandmas, they don't use a recipe. And I literally followed behind her, taking spices and things out of her hand to measure in a cup. And to this day, I don't use a recipe for it. But all I have to do is think I'm going to make spaghetti, and I am immediately transported to being in the kitchen with her, learning how to make it. So I think that that's a thing to carry on. And those are traditions, not necessarily in the traditional sense of the word
Right, right,
tradition,
right.
but they are such an integral part of the fabric, and they're woven so tightly that and beautifully that it creates a magnificent opportunity to carry them on through generations.
Yeah, I mean, I was making potato pancakes
Mhm.
during the holiday season, and my kids were telling me, my youngest, my kids, he's 38, was telling me he
Baby.
remembers me making latkes with
Mhm.
a shower cap on.
Oh,
That's because, the oil and the smell.
yeah.
And
Well, and you talked about that last month,
I would
how to
stand
make
there with him.
latkes. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to be remembered for that, but
Oh, I
but
think
those
so.
are those are the memories, right? That that
Yeah.
that we that we put together that become the whole totality of who we are, and we are made up of all these memories, I think.
Yeah. It's, and I think that that is, if we lean into the word legacy, it's as much what we leave behind as what they carry forward. Because we
Beautiful.
are who we are, we've done what we've done, and what they take from that are our offspring and the people that meant so much to us. What they
Right.
carry forward is the true legacy of what we have left.
I think that's beautiful. We hope that you all start the year beautifully like we are. Again, it's 2024, and we wish you a wonderful first week of the year. Wow.
Gosh, and we hope for continued peace. Oh, excuse me, and light, and cheers to 2024.
Cheers. And don't forget, check out down below in the copy, anything that we talked about, where you can find us and all the different social. Check it out. Let us know, not don't let you know. Let us know how you want to be remembered. We want to know how you want to be remembered. Let us know, and we will maybe share some of those thoughts. If you haven't already picked up our Napa travel guide, you want to make sure you pick it up. The link is down below. Really great resources. Mel and I
And it
actually,
really is the ultimate travel
it
guide. We
is.
spent a fair amount of time up there. Karen lived there, so
Right.
we took opportunity to show you Napa like you have never seen it, and you'll want to experience it. Check it out.
Absolutely. Go out. Have a good day, everyone.